Hi everybody, it's Rothy with Rothy Reads Numbers, and this is the video for the number 2. So once again, just to cover the basics of numerology, it is the science and study of numbers and their vibrations, frequencies, and energies, and how those impact us as individuals as well as a society and in the world. There are basically 12 numbers in all of numerology as far as charts are concerned, and that is 1 through 9, and then your masters 11, 22, and 33. Okay, so today we are focusing on the wonderful, the loving, the supportive number 2. All right, so we I've obviously talked a lot about number 2. It is one of the most loving numbers out of all of them. The 2 and the 6 are probably the most loving and warm and welcoming, nurturing type of numbers. The 2 is the maternal mother energy. So the 2s in life that I've known, especially high 2s, especially heavy 2s or 22s, master 22s, and sometimes 11s, because even though 11 is not deduced to 2, at the end of the day, 1 plus 1 still equals 2. So what this does is I've found a lot of 2s, especially high 2s or 11s, have something about showing their love with food. A lot of them like to cook, and that's how they show their love, is by cooking for their friends and family members or what have you. A lot of them, well, maybe that's how they process love. They love to, go to mom's house and eat Sunday dinners or that sort of a thing, okay? They process love via food a lot of times. 2s will often have people at their house and feeding them. It's another one of the reasons that food is so big, because you can kind of center around food. If it's family, if it's friends, if it's a football game, it's really a lot of times centered around food. So they really love that. They tend to put a lot of effort into that, and they get a lot of joy from doing it. They are the type of people, okay, so here we go. Ready? 2s are the type of people that are going to feed you off of their plate something that they cooked and then ask you how you like it. How does that taste? Is that good? That's a 2. They want to know that you're enjoying it because they put their heart and soul into it for you. And that's the truth. So kind of an interesting thing. So if you ever hear anybody do that, or you ever, and they cooked it, if you ever, somebody just like, here, try a piece of my this. And I mean, even if you go out to dinner and do that, they're feeding you. Okay. So if you don't know their birthday or anything like that, at that time, and then all of a sudden they're like, how does it taste? Do you want a piece of my, my steak or my lasagna or what have you? Ask what their birthday is. I can almost guarantee they're going to have a high 2 in their birthday. That is how 2s process love a lot of times. Okay, so this is one of the things that I love about numerology, because it is, once you get to know the energies of the numbers, you can really start to tell what numbers are prevalent in people. It's pretty incredible. Now, obviously, I'm not always right when I'm like, oh, I sense this number in this person, but majority of the time it's spot on. And that's because, once again, numbers are energy. And as, an empath, as somebody who's sensitive, I interpret energy. I feel energy. I connect with it. I'm a conduit of energy. So obviously I know what it feels like and what it is. All right. And so when I run into somebody like that and they do that, or they like to cook, I see online that they like to cook. A lot of my friends are even guys like just love to cook. And I'm like, you've got to be an 11 or a 2. It's just got to be in you, and I swear 99.9% of the time with 2s or 11s, I'm so on point with that. So just kind of a fun thing to look out for, for anybody who has a 2 in their chart that's looking at this, or if you're just watching the videos and you hear somebody say that one day, ask what their birthday is, and you'll be able to determine if they have some sort of high 2, at least in their immediate chart. Obviously, you're going to need their full name for their full chart, but Generally, excuse the bulldog in the back. She's always got to make an appearance. A very loud and gross one generally, but I digress. So yeah, so that's the 2. All right, very wise. You know, look at the shape of the 1 as compared to the shape of the 2. The 2 has got that curve on top. It's very loving and whimsical and soft, and yet at the bottom there's that foundation. Okay, I guess obviously depending on how you draw it, but if you type it, it's going to be it's not going to be a loop at the bottom. It's going to be a, you know, a solid line. So tremendous amount of support from the 2, as well as a tremendous amount of love. The 2 is very strong. Look at the 1, and if you were to look at the 2 next to it, okay, I don't have a 2 here, but if you were to look at the 1 and the 2, if the 1 were to fall over, what does the 2 look like? What is it perfectly shaped to do? Bounce back and hold it up, right? Again, as I've been saying in all of these videos, look to the shapes of the numbers. They all tell you a great amount of information about some of the top energy attributes of each of them. So that's a really good way to look at the 2. I mean, supportive. If that's the 2 right there, right? Okay, backwards 2. And the 1 falls, what is the 2 going to do? It's going to bounce it back up, right? Bounce it back up. Just really cool things about numbers that I like to tell people about, and that makes sense to me about them. They help me to remember the attributes. So that is the 2. Very supportive, very loving, very nurturing. 2 moms, 22 moms, sometimes 11 moms, they're going to have their kids, friends at their house all the time for sleepovers and after school studying and snacks and basketball. And they're probably the ones that do a lot of the chauffeuring of the kids to the soccer practice and football games and cheerleader, stuff, all of that, because they're just, the 2 is the mom, and the 2 is the mom that loves being a mom. They live to give love. That's what they do. 2s are wonderful people. They're super supportive. They're super encouraging, super loving, and they oftentimes cook amazingly well as well. So get to know your 2s. I promise you they're going to be some of your favorite people out there, okay? All right, guys. Well, as always, if you have any questions, feel free to hit me at Rothy Reads Numbers on Instagram, Facebook, and of course, make sure to like and subscribe this video on YouTube, and we'll see you in number 3. Bye.